Hey everybody. So I thought I'd do a 50-hour review on this Gravely. Uh, I did buy it brand new last summer. I probably only put about 20 hours on it. It was towards the end of summer. That's how sick of mowing I was. Went out and bought a $7,000 mower. And it did cut mowing in half. That's for sure. I'm not going to complain about that. Um, I would say overall I'd give it like a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. The tires are awful. I guess maybe unless you're on super flat ground and you hardly ever get rain, maybe they're fine. But if your grass is wet and you got a slight slope, you're slipping and sliding all over the place. So I may end up upgrading those. I will say the mower deck and the blades, no complaints there. The belt's going strong. It should. Only 50. Let's see here. 54 hours on the nose. I just got done mowing. So yeah, the wheels, everything looks good. The rubber, the blades. I sharpened them once, just at the beginning of this season. They're thick, heavy-duty blades. I haven't really hit anything that I shouldn't, so that's good. The seat, it will rock your back. Yeah, I've got a perfectly fine back, but if you have issues with, definitely get the suspension seat. Otherwise, you may end up in the hospital. And again, maybe you have perfectly groomed grass. I do not. I despise mowing, so I don't really care. I just mow and get it done. The motor, I've never really had any problems, or the engine, I should say. Kawasaki, I changed the oil once. Again, at the beginning of the season when I took it out of storage. I will say the oil filter is kind of a pain to get to. You can see, like in here, you kind of have to get your fingers around there, and I actually have a tool that I ended up using. I could only go like a quarter turn at a time. But other than that, I haven't really had to add any hydraulic fluid, so no leaks there. I did have the main drive belt fall off within the first 5 to 10 hours that I took that in and got a new one. That was a whole nother story, but like I said, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. In hindsight, I should have went with the Kubota. I just like Kubota. I got a Kubota tractor that I'd give a 9.5 out of 10. Honestly, I'd probably have a hard time not saying 10 because that does way more than it should. But overall, like I said, it cuts grass. I guess that's what they're designed to do, and it does it. I got all kinds of grass, weeds, and stuff, so it's not always perfectly manicured or whatever. But that's probably just more I don't weed and feed and all that. I just cut the stupid grass and the weeds and get it over with. The seat, if you're not moving, the seat's comfortable. But as soon as you start mowing, especially as fast as I mow, like I said, it jars you. There's some springs there, but they're worthless. That's about all you get for suspension. So yeah, 54 hours. Some of the stickers, if you're particular about that, they're coming off. I probably hit a tree there. I do not baby this thing. I just rip and roar, get it done. So I hit the deck many times on trees. I'm pretty rough on my equipment. That's probably because I know I can just fix it myself, and I just want to get the job done. But I expect a lot out of my equipment too. So yeah, it's met my expectations. It's certainly not exceeded, and two chief complaints are the tires. The rear tires are awful, and the seat. Now I know there's a suspension seat that you can get for as far as upgrade goes, so maybe I'll do that. I think it was a couple $100 though. You would think a $7,000 mower would come with it. The Kubota did, but that was a little over $10,000. Yeah, so that's my 54-hour review. I meant to do it at 50, but time just got away from me. Yeah, that's about it. It's pretty easy to work on the deck. There's the belt and stuff that props up, and the shields there, they pop out. They're the rubber mounted ones. That is nice. A lot of that sold me on it. It has some of the, I guess, premium features that the more name brand mowers have. So that's nice. One thing that's kind of annoying is this is my only gas gauge. Now, I know the mower well enough to where I can mow for about depends how thick the grass is, 2 to 2.5 hours, and I need to fill it up. And that's a lot of grass because, like I said, I've got 9 to 12 acres that I mow regularly, so no big deal. I mean, I wish it would have been nice to have a fuel gauge right in here. They have a, whatever this is supposed to be, I'm not sure. But there's plenty of space on the cluster to have a gauge. I think that could have been included too. Again, and you will find that on the more, premium brands like Kubota and whatnot, Skag and stuff. But yeah, plenty of power in the engine. I don't know what else to say. If anybody has any specific questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll respond. I've done everything myself. I just typically do that: change the oil, or sharpen the blades. I put the new drive belt on. Yeah, I mean, with the zero turn, it's very specific, and it does that one job very well. Can't really use it for much other things. I think they did say, like, it's set up to have a ROPS. I'm not putting that shit on there. But they also said that you can put a bagger on this. I would never do that. It already feels back heavy as it is. I'm not wanting to pop willies or anything. But plus it was insanely high. Nope, not even interested. I suppose if you put a bagger on the end, I'm sure they probably sell weights for the front. I don't know. Not really interested in bagging. I've got that old Craftsman over there that I use for that. Yeah, so I might just upgrade the premium suspension seat and get some new stinking tires. Other than that, it's a decent mower. So yeah, just let me know if you have any specific questions and I'll be happy to answer them. Everybody take care.